what's up, turtles? It's Krik here with Black Owl Outdoors. Today I'm going to be doing a video showing how to use birch bark as a fire starting material. And there's a lot of, actually you can use birch bark in pretty much the very beginning stages of fire making as getting an ember, as used almost like kindling. But today specifically what I'm going to be using is getting the ember and hopefully getting a little bit of flame off that small shavings of birch bark to potentially ignite other pieces of birch and small twigs. So what I have below me is bigger pieces of birch bark that came off of a dead down tree. Got a little bit of moisture coming. Try to get this done. Hopefully it'll be a good video to try to get done in the rain, get some fire going. These are bigger pieces of birch bark I have. I came off of a dead and down tree. I'm not exactly sure what species of birch this is. There's a couple different ways you can use birch bark, as I mentioned earlier, and I'm going to take off a couple of these small shavings inside here, these small little curls, if you will. Then I'm going to try to transfer. If I get a little bit of flame off this pile, I'm going to try to transfer that small flame to this and try to get a bigger flame off of what I'm about to do here in a second. So I'm going to get a little bit of this off before I start getting the pile shaved down. Try this too. Now the theory behind sort of using my knife to scrape a little pile is that there's a lot of oils inside the birch bark, which makes it a great fire resource in general. But by getting this small fire, or small, little pile, if you will, and this will definitely give me an ember. I'm going to use a ferrocerium rod, which is going to give me a pretty hot spark. The process is I'm going to take my knife, and I'm just going to work this, and we're going to do this in real time. We're not going to cut. I want to show you what this really looks like, how long it takes, things I learned along the way. Like I said, I'm learning a lot as I'm doing these videos. I'm looking for people who are watching these videos just to, explain a lot to me, to tell me a lot. But I'm just going to run my knife on this. I'm going to try to get down past this darker color on the bark and get down. You see I'm sort of exposing this lighter color. I'm going to keep doing this until I get a pretty nice pile. And I'm going to put a spark to it, and we're going to see what happens, and I'm going to work with it on the fly and see if I can get a fire going. And if you know a lot about this, you've done this method before, please let me know. I know people come to watch these videos, look for knowledge that I'm sharing, but I don't know everything. I'm learning along the way, and if you know more or you know other things, please share that with me and with everyone else watching, and leave a comment. Leave a comment, respond to people's comments if I can't get to them or Stony can't. Move this a little bit over here. Work on this part. And with any fire starting method like this, as opposed to just using a lighter, which works well, and I recommend people carrying lighters in their kits so you don't have to go through this process, is you really don't want to rush it, and you really want to make sure you give yourself enough resources to work with. You don't want to have a small pile of shavings and sort of put all your eggs in that basket hoping that little pile is going to produce fire for you. You really want to spend the time and make sure you have a decent amount to work with. Do a little bit more. It's starting to look a good size. We'll see how this works. Try to get some finer stuff. And I'm going to use this more knife, this Scandi grind, because I know I'm probably, you're probably going to dull my knife doing this, but the Scandinavian grind are really easy to sharpen. Alright, let's try that. Let's start with that. A little decent sized pile. Be gentle, don't tip on me, please. Alright, well, get my knife sheath. I don't want that laying on the ground in case it rains. my ferro rod. I'm gonna get this ready, these little pieces of birch, I'm gonna get that ready to go in case this does give me a little flame. I wanna have this stuff right next to me to get this going. Put some pressure. I wonder if I wanna, I'm gonna get a green leaf real quick. I'm gonna transfer my pile to this because this, you can see this birch isn't sitting flat on the ground down here where I have this laying on the bark, and I really don't wanna take the chance of having this tip on me if I do get a flame, so I'm gonna transfer this to a leaf where I can control a little bit better on the ground. I feel better about that already. This into my little pile. And try to get a spark to it. Just to rocking that boat. Get on right underneath. Shucks. So a few things I'm thinking right now is, one, these shavings aren't fine enough. This is why it's not taking this spark. I'm going to keep giving it a go, and I'm going to go back to the bark if I can't get this to produce any results. Just doesn't want to go. I'm not getting any sparks down on it. Wipe my brow, gather myself, think about what's happening and what's not happening. Oh. Alright, I'm going to go back to the birch. What I want to do now is I'm going to put a little bit lighter pressure with my knife on the bark. I'm going to try to get really fine dust now.
Try the back of your knife.
I'm going to try the blade, but you heard Stoney's suggestion. What I'm going to try to do is just not go in so deep. You getting that? Try to just get a fine dust. And this is all part of learning and trying new skills, is problem solving on the fly. I'm putting less pressure on the bark and finer shavings. I'm gonna see if that'll work. And don't get frustrated. I'm doing this on camera. And we're shooting, one take, one go. Just gonna problem solve and keep trying. Work through what I think's working, what's not working. Not get discouraged and just keep trying. I'm gonna add this to my pile and do a little bit more. See if that produces any different results. That didn't work. Move this different piece of birch and try. Be a real funny video if I can't do this, huh? I'm going to tilt my knife a little bit too, play with that angle, see if I'm getting any shavings different. Just do all these small tweaks in my head and see how it goes. The more you try new skills, the more you learn new things, the better learner you become. You know how to learn things, you can problem solve, you can critically think on the fly. Alright, I'm going to pick this up, I'm going to position it, just stop myself for a second, and get real intimate with the pile. Try to change my technique with throwing the sparks, because it really doesn't look like I'm getting any sparks actually on it. And these strikers I'm not a huge fan of. So the spine on my knife is better, but fire making is a really intimate thing. Let's try this now. Watch out, Ant. I do not want you catching on fire. Get out of here. Yeah, go. Keep going. Keep going. You don't want to be around if this works. You trying to think this is food for you? Get on my knife. There we go. Look at that. Look at that pile. Nice flame. Some other little pieces of birch. Oh no, don't go. Too slow. Nonetheless, there's your ember that went away. And she's out. Oh, it is. I'm like a clump. It's crazy. This around. I'll expose all that fine dust. Let's see what that goes. I'm gonna try to get a spark on that little bit of dust right there. Just a little bit of dark brown dust right here. Persistence. Completely elated right now. I can't even begin to describe how happy I am. Woo! Doesn't want to stay lit though, I'll tell you that much. It's so humid right now. I'm just gonna keep working this fire. It took me this long. I'm gonna try to get this fire. I'm gonna try to get sustainable fire on this video right now. Keep using this birch. There we go. I'm not trying to breathe in any of that smoke either. I wasn't planning on keeping the fire this long, but it took me that long to get it going. I'm gonna rock this till the wheels fall off. As fires go, that's pretty good. Not out of the woods yet, depending the materials on hand, but I'm really happy. That's really good. That's pretty good. Look at that going. Woo! Now just keep feeding kindling, smaller pieces, and keep getting bigger to keep this going now. So happy that worked. I'm glad you saw it. Took me a while. I didn't know if it was going to work. Had to keep going, change my style, think about what I was doing wrong. Birch shavings to fire. This is Krik signing out, back outdoors. Later, turtles.